have to be your biggest fan. And when things are really tough and they're really rough and nothing's working, but there's something inside of you that says, I just have to follow that. Because you don't know who you're going to be, who you're going to be, who you're going to be.
Morning, you lot. So I've come outside today. I was locked away all day yesterday, doing a Zoom class over with a group of people from America and Australia. It was a really good Zoom class. I really enjoyed it. Went super quick, but I was locked in my house from like 1 p.m. to till the rest of the day. Stayed on till about 10 p.m. UK. And there was a few things that come up in that Zoom class that I want to cover one of them today here on the video. Problem I have today is absolutely pissing down with rain. So I'm trying to find cover under trees, and I could have done it indoors where it's warm, dry. I just had to get out. Exposure's all over the place because I'm going into a little dark woods trying to get cover from this rain. Filters on, filters off, and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, today's video is going to be about people's philosophy. Maybe we've been taught something and we hang on to it ourselves when we've got nothing to support what we were taught. So we have no evidence that that's right or that's wrong. We just take it for granted. And what I mean is things like, I watched a video yesterday where a guy was told he'll never walk with unsupported aid again. He had to walk with crutches. And he just refused it. You know, the doctors, the profession just said, your body can't take it, you'll never walk again. But he wouldn't accept it, and he went and found a good yoga teacher, someone that built up his core strength. 1 year later, he's running sprints. So, but if he'd have listened, if he'd have not tried or explored any other avenue, he'd have just accepted that he couldn't walk again. And we find that everywhere in the spiritual community. We find people's teachings, what they say, we take as an absolute truth, and then we take it forward into our circles, into our mediumship, into our readings, into our journey. So I'll try and remember a few examples from my Zoom class yesterday. I really did enjoy that, by the way. But it's things like one of the students, can't remember the name, says, I was told you can't do communications from children without being accompanied by a grown-up or an adult. Or we can't do multiple communicators efficiently or correctly. Or we haven't meditated beforehand. Or we haven't protected ourselves. Or we haven't grounded. So on and so forth. You see where the idea of this is going. So obviously, as a demonstrator of mediumship and a teacher of mediumship, I then have to sort of show them, like, there's no meditation going on here, and I can run the link. There's no accompanying adult, and here's a child. So on and so forth. It's a way of showing by demonstration as a teacher that all these things are achievable without the ritual or the restrictions that another teacher has placed upon me or any other student. One student asked, where did these ideas come from? Where did they stem from? Why are people still believing or thinking in this way? And I thought it was a very good question, actually. You know, like, where did it come from? Where did it all start? And it took a moment to think about it, but if you just cast your mind back, as I told the students yesterday, 50 years ago, mediumship was very different 50 years ago. Mediumship had a completely different idea. We had a different understanding. Just with science, we had a different understanding. And so if the teachers of 50 years ago were teaching, we need protection, we need to be grounded, we need to smudge the room beforehand, you can't do children without being accompanied by an adult. 50 years of teaching, and those teachers and the students of those teachers then go on to be teachers themselves, and then they have their students, and so on and so forth. You see why the idea is still here. Oh, it's raining really heavy now. May have made a mistake here. We have to consider the possibility that the tutor, the teacher, the person, whoever, where you're trying to learn philosophy and mediumship from, let me adjust the aperture on that, sorry. that you're trying to learn mediumship from, maybe trying to convince you that their gift is stronger. I can't believe I just said that their mediumship is stronger than it actually is. They may say things like, no, you did that wrong, the spirit world wasn't saying that, they said something else, or the communicators just swapped over, I watched it happen. And I can assure you that there's no teachers that I've met that can see the spirit world the way that you see the spirit world, because it's unique. They're using your mind. The universal energy of it is translated through your mind, the same way it will go through my mind or another teacher's mind. So they will interpret it their way. Under no circumstance can they interpret it through your mind into their mind and get it exactly the same way. It's not possible. So we have to sort of look at that when we're being taught. So when a teacher says to you, you're doing that wrong, or the communicator has swapped, so on and so forth, if you actually feel like, no, it hasn't, it didn't move anywhere, it's still the same person, everything feels right, at no point do you let the teacher have the power there, or anybody have the power there, because your mind is the one that's connected. They're connecting to the energy. If the energy changed for them, then it changed for them. That's not to say that it changed for you. I get a little bit fed up repairing or fixing students, because teachers have absolutely destroyed their confidence. They haven't encouraged them. In fact, they've even said things like, you're not a medium, you'll never be a medium, so on and so forth. And I don't need to name these teachers, you know who you are. And that is not spiritual. That is nothing to do with the spirit world. That is nothing to do with mediumship. And a lot of the time I'm repairing mistakes. Is it a mistake? I think it's intentional. So I'm fixing people's actions a lot of the time, or fears that are based within a student's mind because of another teacher. And that has to stop. That really does have to stop. So if some philosophy doesn't sit right with you, like, right, we have to protect, and that doesn't sit right with you, at no point do you have to adhere to that. You can just get rid of it, throw it away. I don't need that. I don't need to do that. If a teacher says to you that you're never going to be a medium, let me adjust the light for you here. If a teacher says to you you're never going to be a medium, you don't have to accept that. You don't have to take on board their words or whatever it is that they're trying to do there. Just change your teacher. There's enough of us out there for you to go somewhere else. Try mediumship somewhere else. Don't get caught up in their ego. And if there's things they say or mechanics that you don't agree with, like a child has to come forward and be accompanied by another adult, it's a very human perspective way of looking at the spirit world, and they're not human, they're spirit. So get rid of that as well, throw it away. You don't have to listen to it. I think it's fair to say that if anyone has attended my workshops or the Zoom classes, I break down the mechanics very easy. I show you how I do it and what's going on in my head, and how the spirit world are working with me, and I give you that mechanic. I give you everything that I know of the spirit world and how they're working with me. I hand that mechanic over to you, I show you how to do it, I dispel the myths, and I give you the breakdown. At no point am I trying to destroy or prove that I'm better or make it out of your reach. Everything I can do, every single one of you can do. So for the students out there, I would definitely, and I've always encouraged their own philosophy. You know, if you're someone that needs to go away for the protection of your own mind, for the safety of your own mind, to work in the right way, and you need to do 10 minutes of protection or 10 minutes of meditation, I don't need to do that, so it doesn't work for me. However, if you are someone that needs to do that, then get on with it. Turn up 10 minutes early, do it 10 minutes early before you're at the class, and then we can all be on the same page once we're there. So there's no right or wrong way. You're the individual. The mechanics are the mechanics. Energy, the science, it's all the same thing. How we interpret it is what's being made different. So I really do encourage you to find your own philosophy, try your own things. What don't sit right with you, throw away. Things that do sit right with you, keep for a little while. Maybe they won't stay forever. You know, maybe it's one of those things that you needed to sort of explore or go through in your journey, just to give you the confidence and understanding of the spirit world that you're working with. To the people that are teaching that it's out of reach, to the people that are telling people they're no good and they're medium, they'll never be a medium because their mediumship's rubbish. I'm here now, and I'm gonna show that you're wrong. And it's one of those, you know. I will dethrone that. I will knock your pedestal away that you are sitting upon. So I'm going to call it a day because I'm going to get absolutely soaked. Hopefully you've learned something from this video. Like if you liked it, subscribe if you aren't already, and I'll see you all in the next video. Quick side note before I leave. You've got to take it like school, like the system that we go through with schooling. Some of us are amazing at doing it with the textbooks and learning from a book and writing down and being top of the class, and other people don't get on with school whatsoever. And that's not to say that these people don't go on and be successful in any way. The problem with school teaching is that you are pitching it at a level that is deemed by Ofsted or by a criteria, and not everyone learns in that way. They don't learn by reading. Some people are better by going through the practical side of things rather than reading it from a book. And students of mediumship, of course, are the same. They do things in a different way. Their mindsets are completely different. Some people are analytical. Some people just are very naive and they'll just get on with it. And as teachers, we have to recognise the ones that are over-analytical, overthinking too much in their head, and we have to find the ones that just accept what we're saying and just move along with it. So there is no one class that fits all. It doesn't work that way. As a teacher, we need to recognise that. So the ones that are saying that the student will never be a medium and they can't do mediumship just means that the student didn't sort of adhere or like the idea that that particular tutor was presenting. Therefore, they're cast out. No difference to school, is it really? You don't listen, you don't pay attention, or you can't pay attention for whatever reason. You're dismissed. You're a problem. Get out the class. You're making me look an idiot. Tutors of mediumship are doing the same. But the history is just repeating itself in this subject. Something to think about, innit? See you later.